No, you're the fat ass! You're the fat ass!
Oh, Boogie2988, what have you done? Caught in a web you can't unrun. From fake diagnosis to tax fraud call, the rise and the fall, we've seen it all.
Claim to have cancer, but where's the proof? Destiny asked and I stayed aloof. April 19, a tax confession. Admitted to crimes, a risky session. Racial slurs and comments so cruel. Charged with assault, breaking the rules. Tricked on Twitch, a playful jest. Erratic acts, no time for rest. We're gone, scams on the run. Privacy refused, what's next to come? Crypto scams and jokes so dark. Anger issues left their mark. A documentary, a story told. From fame to shame, the truth unfold. From having it dirty with whores and shooting skies. For the safety of my puppy, then I married a guppy. No, I swear she's fine, she loves looking this fly.
Boogie2988, what have you done? Caught in a web you can't outrun. From fake diagnosis to tax fraud call, the rise and the fall, we've seen it all.
Boogie2988, a lesson learned. In the fire I got burned. Controversy a heavy crown. In the end it all comes down. Boogie2988, a lesson learned. In the fire I got burned. Controversy a heavy crown. In the end it all comes down.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alrighty then. Oh my goodness. So, the last week has been, well, the last couple of days at least have been quite eventful and quite controversial for a number of reasons. Key among them is today's topic of discussion. Boogie2988 and his lies regarding his so-called cancer. So, one of the things that I wanted to go through tonight was how much he did lie about. No, I did not write this. I did not write this song at all. Not one bit. I found it. I thought it was a slapper. I thought, well, that's a good intro. And so, tonight we are going to be doing something fun. We're going to be going, well, not fun for me or for you, but just like in general, we're going to be doing something different. All right, so let me just go ahead and get the screen capture going. Aha, there we go. There we go. Although, need to change it to the other monitor. Aha. There we go. Alrighty then. Alrighty. He got caught in a lie. He didn't expect to have his hand in the cookie jar when he got caught, though. Yeah, that's the thing about people. You know, you don't think you're gonna get caught, and then when you do get caught, you think, oh well, I can just explain it away, right? Explain it away, right? Okay, so I've got a few different tweets I'm gonna go through that kind of just outline the whole situation here. We will start with, let's see, which one?
I don't want to.
Not this one, not this one. Not that one. Where is it? Where is the one that Let me see. There we go. This is the one I wanted to start out with. All right. So, this is the original lie. This is the original source for all of this. All of this, all right? So let me go ahead and play this. We can talk about it, all right? And then we can keep going.
Well, you remember about 3 weeks back I said that I likely could potentially have a form of cancer? Turns out I got a rare blood cancer called polycythemia vera, which
I think it's funny. I think it's super funny that he can't even pronounce the word right. I mean, I understand. I do. You know, words are hard. Also, it looks like he barely did any Googling or anything else before just throwing this up on screen. Just like he you know, just like he accuses Destiny of doing before he comes on and basically says, could it be that you have this instead that sounds similar but isn't, you know?
which basically makes your body produce too many red blood cells. And in terms of the clarity that I referred to earlier, I've known about this for a little over 6 weeks. That it was a probability, though I just got my official diagnosis.
Oh, it's live, Jacob.
But,
it's live.
I hope it gives you an idea of why I've been so worried about my money, why I've been so worried about my career, why I've been so worried about my future.
Yeah.
Why I've done some of the things I've done and said some of the things I've said. Maybe I should have led with this before I asked people to watch my videos or become channel members or whatever.
No, wait. Boogie, I love you. I do. You're a human being. I love you as a human being. The first thing you should have done before anything else, before posting, before recording a video, is get a definitive diagnosis. You don't just go and say, oh, well, I might have cancer, and then go on the internet and say, I definitely have cancer. You don't do that. If you do that, then you don't get... My mother, God bless her, she has lung cancer, has had lung cancer over the past few years. We got lucky. We got it early enough, the first bout, that we were able to get most of it taken care of. The first round, it went away. It came back about 1.5 years ago. She went back in. She had radiation. She's doing better, but she's still not where she needs to be. You know, and the thing is, she doesn't have as good of a quality of life now as she did before. She's got side effects. She's got after effects from all the treatment. She'll never be quite the same again. The problem with this is that Boogie, through all of this, has not shown any visible, clear signs that he's either been through or is currently going through any form of treatment that helps. And he doesn't seem to have any difference in his quality of life or of his capability. I'm sorry, there's a lot that really does not line up. I'm not denying that he has the elevated red blood cell count. I'm not denying that. What I'm denying is that there's any possibility, until I see a paperwork that says, yes, definitely, this guy's got cancer, this guy's got bad cancer, this guy's got definitive cancer. Until we see the receipts, I am not taking his word at all.
I don't know. This felt very private at the time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This felt very private at the time. Boogie, you have no private life. You have maybe one or two things that you don't show people. One or two things that you don't show people. One thing that you don't show, I would say two, but then you stripped on stream a few weeks ago. So now it's one. And that's your roommate. You don't show your roommate. You've never shown your roommate. I applaud you for not breaking his privacy for the sake of views. I applaud you for that. That's one of the very few things that we can actually prove that you've done that points to you being at least somewhat of a decent human being. But the fact that you say, oh, this seemed private at the time, with you being as open as you are about all the things in your life, it's funny to me. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to necessarily completely put you on blast, but dude, yeah, you're immunosuppressed and autoimmune, and you're familiar with chronic illness and treatment, so this is why you're personally interested. Yeah, honestly, I feel like Boogie jumped the gun, got in over his head, and then he didn't make sure to tell us the truth when he got the truth. The truth is, they don't have any actual definitive diagnosis. They don't have any actual definitive tests. But because that doesn't sound as good as, man, I've got cancer, you're bullying a guy with cancer, then he's going to run with it. Because, as we'll see, Boogie has this history of being a professional victim. Yeah, so to be clear, this was the lie that you specifically said multiple times. It went from likely to potentially to official diagnosis. And yet it never happened. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. All right, so now we come to the events that started this whole thing. This is the moment that Destiny calls out Boogie for faking cancer for views. Faking cancer for sympathy. This is the moment, right?
However, when Boogie was talking about the polycythemia, he mentioned a couple things that I thought were interesting. The first was that taking an exogenous hormone, TRT, testosterone, that caused a increase in him developing this condition. So taking testosterone will not cause you to develop a cancer. That doesn't, not for this particular cancer, it won't. It will cause you to develop secondary polycythemia.
Got him. Got him. I mean, come on. Think about it. If you really think of it. And look at his face right here. Look at his face. He's not interested. He's not interested. You know why? Because right now he's trying to think of every single possible thing that he can do to make the house of cards not fall down. Not fall down. This was the beginning of the end for Boogie. It really was. Guys, if you don't mind, if you can support the stream with a donation, I appreciate it. If you can't, I understand. We're all kind of hard up on cash, but if you can, please, thank you so much. But yeah, so there are a lot of things wrong with this picture. And we'll continue.
The second thing that he mentioned was that his doctor ordered a sleep study. That's because one of the things that can cause your body to produce more red blood cells is if you have hypoxemia, which is a lower count of, or a low amount of oxygen in your blood for an extended period of time. And the reason why he ordered that sleep study is probably because Boogie either has,
Come on, get to the point so I can refute it. Get to the point so I can argue against it, because I want to argue against it. I see what he's doing. I see what he's doing. He's trying so hard to sway views, sway opinions, sway sympathy towards him. And it's making him look so bad. Boogie, I love you as a human being. I hate that we had to get to this point, and I hate that you ended up doing the things that you did that got you in this situation, because if you'd have just been honest about everything, it wouldn't have gotten this bad. It wouldn't have gotten this bad.
Pulmonary obstructive something, or he has, as he mentioned, sleep apnea. And
Yeah, sleep apnea can do this. COPD can do this. Other things can do this. I have a friend who died about 3 months ago. No, wait, no. About a month and a half, 2 months ago, I think. He was an older gentleman, but he ended up getting sick with COVID. He ended up getting pneumonia. And then when he was in the hospital, he went hypoxic. He went low. He went to the point where he had such a low amount of oxygen in his bloodstream that his tissue was dying. He went gray. Now, he came out of it once. He came out of it again. But the last time he didn't make it and he ended up dead. Poor guy, left behind a wife and kids. His kids are adults. His wife's in her older age. But still, it's painful. It sucks. You have to watch the family grieve. You don't walk away from this kind of stuff. You don't. And yet, here we have Boogie saying, oh, no, it's cancer.
sleep apnea, which is a decrease in oxygen overnight, can
Yeah.
lead to a decrease in oxygen in your blood, which can lead to an increase in the production of red blood cells.
Yes.
All of the things that Boogie described, both the things that cause this and the treatments for it, are consistent with
Go ahead. Yeah, I can just hear his apathy to the... By the way, this is before Monday. All right? This is before Monday. This was last Friday, I think, or last Thursday. I don't know. It's been 4 days in between this stream and then the stream where they finally caught him, finally confronted him, and finally called him out on his bull crap. Which, yes, it's sad. It's horrible because, well, the other thing is, Boogie said he was going to delete everything. He was going to go off of the internet, right? Everyone was calling it on the Boogie2988 subreddit and everywhere else. Everyone was calling it that he wouldn't last a week. Well, no, most people were saying it wouldn't last a month. I thought, well, wait until the weekend's over. Watch Keemstar. Watch Keemstar and watch what he does to get Boogie out of the shadows and back onto the Local Live podcast, which is where this and the other videos are from. That's the thing. Keemstar especially does not let things sit if they don't sit right with him. And Keemstar even said, man, you know what, dude, I don't even believe that you would fake this. I don't believe that you would fake having cancer. And then he did. But yeah.
secondary polycythemia.
So yeah, secondary, not primary, not cancerous, but secondary polycythemia, which is, hey, Mr. Gamer, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. So there's that one. The next one I want to see, I want to show you guys. Keem keeps trying to get Boogie away out of this situation. He does. He tries to get Boogie away to redeem himself and fix this, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And yeah, it's a shame, Cashette. It's a shame. Because honestly, Boogie could have come clean months ago. He could have come clean 3 years ago. He didn't. And so now he's reaping the fruits of his labor, the fruits of his lies, and it's just disappointing. It is.
I honestly, I expect lies from you, but I don't expect this. This is wild.
Yeah,
but
which obviously I did not do nor would.
I did not do nor would. Oh boy. Okay. Well, and the thing is, okay, all right, granted, Mr. Gamer, granted. It could be that there are tests that if you look at them from a certain angle, from the angle of having been a certified doctor or having medical training of some kind, the inference can be that based on these markers, based on these tests that have been done, that there is a likelihood that there is cancer present in the patient. But the thing that I discount, or the thing that I like to, the thing that I would like to point out is, okay, all right, everyone has this My Chart, right? It's an app on your phone. It's the Epic Web My Chart app, and you can sign in with your account, and everyone's got a portal, patient portal, with all your stuff. See, yeah, this is mine. I didn't log in, but you can see I've got a Mercy Health account that I can log into. I've got other stuff, and you log in, and you can see all of your diagnoses, all of your all your test results, everything else. I mean, come on. I can look at stuff that has been done in the past hour while I'm in an appointment, because every so often they come in, they give me a test for my A1C, right? I can be sitting in the office as they're processing the A1C blood test and can see when it pops up on my chart. I can see that. I can see that. And so, yes, granted, there may be things that may point to a diagnosis. I'm not discounting the fact that he may have cancer. I know that he did lie about having a definitive diagnosis on record. He may have cancer, but he doesn't have a diagnosis. He doesn't have an official documentation. That's what the lies are all about. That's what this is all about. But come on. I mean, we don't see evidence of treatment. We don't see evidence of illness. We don't see evidence of anything. So where do the lies end, Boogie? Where do they end?
But I can see how this happened, because they told you that you had this disease. You Googled it. Saw it.
He's crushing his... He's crushing the ice in his cup, but it looks like he's just pounding on his microphone going, I don't want to hear you right now.
Was linked to cancer,
or whatever.
And you rushed to make a fucking video.
Sorry about the language, folks. I don't have the time to really edit these clips to where they're censored, so I hope you guys don't take too much offense to this. I know I disregard it.
That you have cancer. And then you found out later that you don't. But you had to continue the lie.
Yeah, that'll be
I
the
know
story you
how
guys
this
will
played
tell
out.
and enjoy.
What do you mean? It's not a story. I
Oh.
know this is how it played out.
That's the thing that really irks me about Boogie. Okay, he takes any criticism he gets, or any constructive commentary, or anything that he gets, and he says, "Well, that's the story you choose to tell. That's the story you choose to go with," and not trying to take ownership, not trying to take responsibility, but rather just saying, oh, well, you can believe that if you want. And then when we find out later that he's telling a lie, then we're going to find out, oh, well, all these things were lies too. Oh, well, that's the story you tell yourself. And Keemstar has a good point. He
happened because they told you that you had this disease. You Googled it, saw it was linked to cancer, and you rushed to make a fucking video.
Yeah. He Googled what the word was, found an article on WebMD or wherever, saw that it had cancerous stuff on it, went and made a video, posted it on the internet for views and for clicks and for sympathy, found out later that he doesn't have cancer, didn't want to renege on the video because he didn't want to seem like an absolute idiot. Although honestly, looking like an idiot is better than looking like a liar and a scammer and a potential fraud. Because right now, that's what he is. That's what he looks like to the world at large, to everyone that follows this kind of content. That's what he is. So what are we to do? Honestly, we're to hold him accountable, for one. We need to hold him accountable and just say, you know what, Boogie? Yeah, no, you're not allowed to lie about this. You're not allowed to continue the the narrative that you're just the good guy of YouTube, because honestly, I have seen the dark side of this man, and it's not fun. It's horrible. It's horrible. So, anyway, let's continue on. So, this is Boogie's actual post on the whole situation, but we'll get to that after watching this clip that actually shows the entire
hormone markers for it. That's either a hormone markers for it. That's either a definitive diagnosis, in which case you wouldn't be getting a biopsy 2 years later, or it wasn't definitive and you would have gotten a biopsy 2 years later instead of saying they're treating you for cancer for 2 years. You just said before that you don't have the money for
Exactly. You wouldn't wait 2 years, 3 years to get a biopsy. Okay, my mom, when she got her diagnosis for cancer, what she went in for because she had some heaviness in the left lung and was having trouble breathing. So they went ahead and did an x-ray and then later a CAT scan to see if she had fluid on her lungs or anything else like that. Well, they found something strange in the scans, and so they sent her off to Delaware Medical Center in Ohio, Delaware, Ohio, which is an hour and some minute drive away, especially on bad days, to see an oncologist, get the proper diagnoses, get the proper testing, and within a month or a month and a half, she had an appointment for a biopsy where they dug a needle in, took some cells out of the area that they were concerned about, and tested them, and found out that they were cancerous. You don't wait 3 years for a biopsy, especially if you have actual insurance, which Boogie claims that he does. Boogie claims that he has insurance, but that they won't pay enough, and so that's why he has to scam people. And that's why 2 weeks ago, he had the crypto scam that got him in hot water first. He had the crypto scam first, and then later on, now he's got the lying about cancer thing. Not about necessarily having cancer, but about having, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're not sure where to look for the cancer. Maybe they've been trying. Maybe they don't exactly know. Maybe he's just afraid of the pain that it'll cause because it's a bone marrow biopsy, which I do agree would be very painful. But wouldn't you want to get that over with and done with, the healthier that you feel at the beginning, rather than possibly having a harder time of it later on because your health has gone down the tubes. Oh, Mudahar just uploaded an episode on his channel addressing Boogie. Yeah, I'd imagine he has, and I'd imagine it'll be a long one. I'll go ahead and check on it. Let me just go here, go to YouTube, and get rid of that. And just go ahead and finish. Don't launch it. Oh, wait, that's YouTube. Some ordinary gamers. Furries hacked the government. And Project 2025. Oh. 5 days ago, Boogie lied about his cancer. Oh, Some Ordinary Podcast. Oh, okay. I didn't. All right, yeah. Let's see.
Hello, guys and gals.
Hello, guys and gals. Oh my gosh. Yep, it's almost a 2 hour episode just on this. Hey, Muda, can I go on for the next episode? I'll talk with you about the whole thing. I will share everything that I know about this guy, because he is but But yeah. So Mutahar is done. If Boogie continues to be able to work on the Locale podcast, I don't look for Muta to go back on anytime soon. Anyway, so yeah, so let's continue on with this clip.
Extra medical stuff. If they don't need that test to confirm cancer, why would you spend extra money on a biopsy you don't need?
Have you heard of this, Destiny? I just got a bit of a windfall.
Oh my god! Oh, this is what really irks me about him. He acts so smug about getting money for a pump and dump scheme for crypto, when he himself was the victim of a pump and dump that left him with pennies. Pennies. He got nothing. He lost most of his finances to crypto, and then he's smug enough to say, oh, but I got a bit of a windfall because I got into this crypto scam and they paid me up front. Yeah, sure. All right. Fair enough. You got a bit of a windfall. Pay for the darn tests, then post them on the internet so people see them. Or else shut up, sit down, and take your meds. I'm sorry. I'm kind of just done with this guy.
Might have heard about it.
You may have heard of it. We have.
What's a
He
windfall?
did a $10,000 crypto scam.
Yeah. Thank you.
Using partly his cancer thing as an excuse for why he needed to scam his fans.
Oh, busted, dude. You got played. You got played, man. Everyone got played. I got played. I thought, oh, there's no way Boogie would lie about something that bad, because his dad died from cancer, his friend died from cancer, his other people that he knows have died from cancer, his friends' families have died from cancer. He wouldn't make a joke like that. He wouldn't talk like that. He wouldn't lie like that. Scam $3 million out of his fans. Yeah, but the problem is he wasn't even smart enough to take his cut of the $3 million out of that. He burned his crypto. All his coins, he burned them. Why? Because he thought, oh, if I just burn this, then it'll all go away. No, it didn't. It didn't go away. It's still here. It's still a problem. Yeah. So, anyway, let's continue.
I just wanted to, I wanted to,
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to join real quick because you just got caught lying about me to CoffeeZilla. All right. And now you're being confronted. And now you're being confronted on one of the biggest lies on internet history.
Yep. One of the biggest lies of internet history. And this guy lied about cancer.
Sure, go ahead.
And you won't prove it?
No.
You won't prove it?
I'd rather you go ahead and print it.
If this is true, and you lied about cancer, this is the biggest scandal on the fucking internet.
And it's not. But go ahead and print it anyway.
It's not a lie, but go ahead and print anyway. I'm like, dude, you're gonna seriously, if this is true, you're gonna seriously let people say that you lied about cancer, that you lied about having cancer, and you're gonna take this to your freaking grave, rather than prove yourself right and post a picture of the exact thing that will help you see or help show that you were telling the dang truth. No. You had to be lying. You had to be lying, because there's no way anyone with any kind of sane mindset would say okay to being made into a liar and a scammer and an absolute moron over this kind of stuff. No one.
Way. Go ahead and print it anyway. I pretty much prove it. None of you motherfuckers. I said this 2 years ago, and I'm not doing it today.
He didn't do it 3 years ago, and he's not doing it today. He's not posting his medical records back then, and he's not posting them today.
Go right ahead. Print it. Print it the way it is. Go right ahead.
Okay, all right. Look at Gerard. Dude's mother passed away from dementia and organized a charity in honor of her. He lied for almost a decade about the money going toward multiple Dementia Research Works. Oh, good God. Gerard. Who's Gerard? The completionist. Oh, him. Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. This guy. This butthole. This absolute piece of work. He's the... Yeah, okay, yeah, I get that. Yeah. He didn't even donate any of the money until Muda and Carl Jobs actually called him out. He didn't donate any. Okay, all right. I can understand maybe keeping part of it because you need to pay some form of, because you might not expect to get, I don't know, however much. But if you didn't pay any of it to research organizations when you said you were going to, until someone called you out on it and basically forced your hand, you're an absolute piece of work. You're an absolute butthole. You're worse than... Oh my God. And I thought I'd seen the worst of the worst.
Hormone markers.
Well, evidently I haven't seen the worst at all yet. My gosh. We're not even all the way into this.
You won't prove it?
I'd rather you go ahead and print it.
It's the biggest scandal on the...
Going.
I pretty much prove it. None of you motherfuckers.
Fucking
I said this
prove
2
it.
years ago, and I'm not doing it today.
Okay, so I guess just to wrap up, because we don't want to take all your guys' time tonight. So just as a couple things, right? So the story as laid out, if you look up secondary...
Okay, so, yeah. Boogie lied, said he had cancer, doesn't have cancer, exposed for not having cancer, and instead of when he was first called out for this, instead of apologizing, instead of making things right, what's he do? He deactivates his social media. And not even all of them. Not even all of them. You know what he does? He deactivates Twitter, and he deactivates, I think the other one is Instagram or maybe some or other else. And he didn't even deactivate them fully because guess what? You go here, Boogie2988. Is back up and running. It's back up and running. Yeah. Didn't even take 72 hours. Didn't even take a full week. It took less than a full week. It took less than a full week, and he's back on X. He's back on his platform. Why? Okay, all right. So now we're going to get to his post on this whole thing. According to the internet, I lied about cancer. However, for the last 2 years, I've been treating the symptoms of that cancer, blood tests, medications, and so much more. We still have one test left to do, to verify which cancer. So now it could be multiple different kinds of cancer, right? Now it could be multiple different kinds. For now, we've been treating the polycythemia vera, which is the cancer they told me I have. The cancer they told me. Oh, so it's their fault. My brother has seen it in my medical charts. My girlfriend and best friend have been present when the doctor spoke of it. We are now doing more tests to confirm the polycythemia vera or to determine if there is a second cancer present. Oh. So what? What? You're gonna claim the double cancer? You're gonna claim the double cancer? Oh, I hope you do have double cancer, because at least then that'll prove that you're right. That'll prove that you're right, and at least then people won't be able to yeah. So we're starting with colonoscopy to see if there is cancer present there, as I've shown signs that prostate cancer is present. Signs that prostate cancer is present. Signs that polycythemia vera is present. Signs that this is present. Signs that that's present. Yeah, sure. I was panicked when my doctor told me I had cancer 2 years ago, and when I was in a vulnerable state. Oh, isn't it always? Oh, I was vulnerable. Oh, I was feeling bad. Oh, I wasn't in my right mind. Gerard actually threatened to sue Carl over his video on him because Carl and Muto leaked their calls. He even thought about blackmailing them. Oh my gosh. So Gerard went that far. Well, I can say one positive thing about Boogie. He wasn't that stupid. He was stupid. No doubt about it. But he wasn't that stupid. He didn't go that far. But anyway, it was a stupid, stupid thing to do. I should never have jumped the gun like that. Oh, no, 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 no. You know what you should have done? Stayed quiet. Stayed quiet, not used it to play the victim card. Not used it to play the sympathy card like everything else in your life. Because granted, you've been through crap. You've been through hell. You've been through things that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. But you, unlike a lot of people, took what you've been through and used it for sympathy and clout. Because that was your thing, you know? Oh, don't bully the kid that's been bullied for all of his life. Don't bully the kid that was abused by his parents. Don't bully the kid that has multiple medical and mental diagnoses. You know what? I have multiple mental and medical diagnoses. I went through abuse when I was young. My father abused me physically, mentally, and emotionally. Another guy that I knew, that I looked up to, abused me sexually. There are things that I've gone through that I could definitely grift on and be a victim and figure out how to find a way to pump money out of people that feel bad for me. But you know what I do instead? You know what I do instead? I rise above. That's what you do, Boogie. You rise up. You rise above. You get over that hurdle whatever way you have to. Whatever way you friggin' can. If it takes you clawing up the hill that is your life to get to the top, you do it. And you don't bellyache about it. You don't make a video about, oh, well, I might have cancer. Because you know what that makes you? That just makes you a pansy, and that makes you granted, all right. If you had to go away for a while, make a video so people don't think that you're dead, all right? If you have to go away for a while, that's one thing. But if you're going to be staying, don't say a dang thing. If you're staying around and it's not really going to change your life, don't say a dang thing, you know? That's what people have told me about things that I've gone through in my life, you know? Whenever I would post about something that had been going on, I'd get DMs from people saying, you know what, dude? Instead of posting about it, maybe you should just talk to a therapist or talk to a friend about it. Don't post a video about it, right? And so I've learned, don't post personal stuff unless it's going to affect your career, because honestly, most people don't care beyond a few select friends, right? Right? You know, that's the thing. That's the thing. Boogie doesn't know how to keep it between him and his friends. When he has something go on in his life, you know who he goes to? The internet. That's all his channel has been for the last 14, 15 years. Is, oh, well, my life sucks and everyone else should know about it. I mean, I'm sorry. I know that this might seem a bit mean-spirited, but I'm kind of pissed off with him right now because honestly, the man has lied way too many times, one too many times, about things that I think should never be lied about, never be joked about. You know, and here he goes again. I have never done a GoFundMe. I have never asked my audience for money to treat this cancer. I never have and never will. Well, what was the crypto scam about? What was the crypto scam about, right? Right? And yes, I used to defend Boogie a lot. I used to, because I was stupid and I thought he was actually a good example of how to be a good human being. I now realize he's just as messed up as the rest of us, and honestly, he shouldn't be calling himself the Mr. Rogers of the internet. He never should have. You know, I really think that was what really broke my back, was when I remembered that was one of the titles that he used to use for himself. Hey, I'm the Mr. Rogers of the YouTube. I'm the Mr. Rogers of the internet. Heck, you know what? I was more of a Mr. Rogers of the internet than he was. And you know what I ended up doing? I did some stupid shit. I did some messed up stuff. And I ended up being so idiotic that I went on, who was it? Who was it? The guy that had cancer that did a documentary on Boogie. I went on his channel, on his video about Boogie, and basically told him I hope he had cancer again. I told him that. I was a horrible person. I did something that reprehensible. And yet, not only did this guy forgive me, but others forgave me that did condemn me to begin with. And it was because I made the right choice to apologize. I made the right choice to just make a good Christopher Tom. That was the guy's name. Christopher Tom accepted my apology. His followers accepted my apology. It ended up being a learning experience for me. Don't let your emotions affect what you do professionally or personally that might affect what you're doing. But you know what? I don't know that I'm going to necessarily forgive this. I'll forgive him, but I'm definitely not going to forget the thing that he did. I'm not forgetting this. But yeah, so anyway, never done a GoFundMe, never asked audience for money, never have, never will, except for the time that I did because I made a crypto scam and people bought it because I said they could. In fact, in my years as a YouTuber, I've donated and helped raise tens of thousands of dollars to St. Jude's Cancer Research Hospital to help people suffering with cancer. Oh, so I did one good thing, so that makes up for the other bad thing I did. Right. It's like if I'd have said, you know what? I'm not going to apologize for anything that I said to Christopher Tom. Oh, but I'll donate to St. Jude. Yeah, right. So, anyway, my father died of cancer. My best friend from childhood died of cancer. My friend John Total Biscuit died of cancer. Oh, Total Biscuit? You mean the guy that you said threw you under the bus one time because you were involved in what ended up being a scam? I mean, granted, that was probably the nicest time that he's ever said that anyone threw him under the bus, because he was basically saying that Total Biscuit would never compromise his integrity for anyone, even friends. So I guess in a way that was his best way of being nice. But come on, cancer is not something I would ever lie about. But I should have waited for the final tests to be done and not just repeated what my doctor had to say to me that day. When are the final tests going to be done? When are they going to be done? When? What? He hit on Total Biscuit's wife after he died. You're serious. Oh gosh. Anyway, he says, I'm sorry I ever spoke of it, and moving forward, no matter what happens, I will not speak of it publicly. Okay. Bare minimum, but good job. I consider this a closed matter, and now will make sure it remains a private battle that is shared only with my closest loved ones. Well, I guess then if it's closed, I guess it's closed. Oh my goodness. Stop the presses. We had to just delete this live stream now. We had to delete this video now because it's just not. I'm sorry for those hurt or offended by either the rumors that have floated around or by my actions when I spoke too early about my cancer. We're not hurt or offended about that. We're hurt or offended about the fact that you said you had an actual diagnosis when all you had was speculation. All you had was supposition. All you had was a name that you Googled and then found out that according to different sources, you may have a cancer form of it, not just a regular stupid form of it that you got from honestly not taking care of yourself. Of all the mistakes and F-ups I've ever made in my life, in this life, this was the one that will haunt me to the bitter end, as it should. The only honest and correct thing he said in this whole thing, as it should. As it should. So, that's where this is at this point. I mean, Come on. All right. So now, that's all the stuff that just happened on Friday, right? This is what happened on Friday. Yeah, so, and then Boogie deleted days worth of incriminating tweets regarding his token scandal and everything else. So there was that. And then he deleted his Twitter and he went away for 4 days. And then he comes back because Keemstar here, good on him. One of the few things that I think it was actually a neutrally good thing that he did was he brought Boogie back on through force to answer for all of this crap. And live on the stream, Boogie says this. Let's listen. Let's listen to the truth.
So high. We can probably get him the fucking
So
code.
Vera's not on there. Vera's not on the portal.
I don't know, man.
It's not.
I can send you a bunch of stuff.
You said 4 days ago you were looking at it.
Yeah, 4 days ago you said you were looking at it.
Like
So
I told you, I spent the last 2 years getting treated for it. I've been told by my doctor for the last 2 years.
It's fine, Boogie. Just admit it's not on the portal.
It's not on there. I told you this. I
thank you.
I have to do the so high.
It's not on there. It's not on there. And like I said, I get test results within minutes of them doing them, if they can do them like that. Now, if it takes them a while, I get them when they processed. But still, as soon as they processed, it automatically goes into the system and shows up on my portal, shows up on my app, shows up on my chart. And I go, oh, that's good. My results came back and they're pretty good. Or they're normal. Or even, wow, they're better than I normally thought they would be. You know? So, Boogie, I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. But I cannot trust anything you say to me. I cannot trust that you're actually looking out at the people that you're talking to on video or on stream and actually trying to be genuine, because based on the evidence, I can't see it. Based on the evidence, I don't see it at all. And that's a crying shame. That is a friggin' shame, because you used to be one of my role models for being a YouTuber. And now, sadly enough, I think one of my biggest one of my biggest role models now is probably some ordinary gamer is Mudahar, because he at least has the decency to not lie about something like this and actually confront people that do. And you know what? Just in support of that, as soon as I'm done with this stream, I'm going to go and I'm going to talk. I'm going to go and I'm going to watch that stream. I'm going to watch that episode of his podcast. In fact, I need to remember to actually, you know, I need to actually remember to go and subscribe to that, because honestly, that's a damn good show. That's a damn good show. If it's
Hello,
got
guys and
Mudahar
gals.
on it.
Me, Mudahar.
If it's got Mudahar on it, I want every single notification on. But yeah, so, and then here we have Keemstar saying, I am not going to fire Boogie. I am not going to fire Boogie. Why? Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe because Boogie is a cash cow for Keem. If Boogie can stay on the podcast, on the Local Live podcast, which by the way, if you guys don't know this, the Local Live podcast was primarily made for Boogie. Boogie went to Keemstar and said, man, I'm having money troubles. Keemstar said, you know what? It's all right. We'll take care of this. And he made the Local Live podcast, made Boogie one of the permanent cast members, brought in Jordy and the others. But it was mainly Boogie. But the reason they have 4 is because just Keem and Boogie would be immensely boring, because after a while, Boogie just goes off on a tangent about whatever, thinking it sounds good, but it isn't. So Keem needed other people on. And even Keem wasn't supposed to even stay on as long as he has. And so, yeah. Hey, Hatch, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Good to see you. Just talking about Boogie and everything that's gone on with that. And then I'm going to be talking here in a minute at the second half of the stream, I'm going to be talking about the situation with our politics, because honestly, it sucks, and we need to fix this. We do. So, yeah. I guess that's it for the Boogie situation. I kind of exhausted all the tweets and everything else that I've seen, all the stuff that I've been able to, find out. It's just, man, it's sad. It's sad. It's frustrating, and it honestly pisses me off to no end that a man that I looked up to isn't the man that I thought he was, and that he's basically just a liar, a cheat, and an absolute. But I don't know. I don't know anymore. And you know what? If he texts me later and says, "Man, why are you making this live stream about me? Why are you doing all this?" I'll tell him. I'll tell him up straight. You know, dude, if you just stayed a good dude, and if you just kept your nose clean, I wouldn't have to make these videos. If you'd have kept your nose clean and you hadn't gotten into all this trouble and you hadn't managed to piss everyone on the internet off, I wouldn't have to make these kinds of videos talking about it and basically distancing myself from you in order to save my career. That's what this is. It's me saving my career, because honestly, I could easily go down just as much as he has being associated with him. And I don't need that. I don't need that. So I'm not going with that. But yeah, so that's the situation with Boogie. That's the situation with him. He's an absolute scammer and a liar. And honestly, not someone I really want to associate with anymore. And it's sad, because I used to really think of him as a really good friend. And now he's just kind of a disappointment. So I'm going to come back in about 5 minutes, and we're going to go over the situation with our political system, because honestly, that's the next big event that happened this weekend. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to just yeah. And while I'm doing that, if you guys want to talk about anything, let me know. Or if you just have any comments, shout them out in the chat. Rapid tags. Alrighty, save. Alright, so if you guys noticed that the live stream title has changed, it's now we're now talking about the recent Trump attack, as well as everything that's happened with that. So, for those of you that have been living under a rock, which I'm sure isn't a lot of you, over the weekend, former President Donald Trump had a rally, and at the rally he was shot at by a young man He was injured slightly, but he survived, which is good. But now, because of this whole thing, he's pretty much won the election. Not through any merits, but just because he's managed to he's managed to just rise back above what's happening with him. I mean, he went from having really low ratings and everything else the last couple of weeks, or at least lowered and going down, to now he's got more support than he ever has, because with his reaction at the end of that, and this is the thing, this is a really fun thing that really hits me as funny, is after the shooting, after they made sure that he was all right, he gets up, and his pose, you know, like he's fight. And so then last night at the Republican National Convention, we see Trump nominated, and during the convention, there are people in the crowd going, fight, and you know, ow, that hurt. So, but the fact that politics is broken down this much, actually, I'm probably going to cover this in a video, because honestly, the stream's kind of overstaying its welcome at this point. I've kind of lost the energy from talking about the Boogie situation. But I wanted to talk about that, and I will probably see about making this available as a VOD, and so you guys will be able to see it later. But I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream here. But you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you again soon. I'll talk to you again soon.